Good times and great music at 2 and URFM 103.7. Just about time for us to bring in our chef, Gavin Forman. And Gav, firstly, welcome.
Thank you.
You're all dressed up nice today. So obviously your task today will not be actually in the kitchen in front of the stove.
There'll be other tasks today that involved my job.
No pots and pans today.
No pots and pans today. Bits of paper, computers, and probably lawyers.
Are we that harsh on you that you have to get the legal team
Yes,
in?
the legal team from Sydney are on the way up.
They said, look, when you come in, Mark must eat. He must not hate at least 80% of what
They're going to take all your bins away so you can't spit anything out.
Look, I think we'll be all right today.
I think you'll be fine.
Now, you've decided to bring a little Polak dish for us today.
Yes, pierogi, which I've been practicing saying all the way in.
Now, when Gav says practice, by the way, he just had the phone app on that actually gives you pronunciation.
I did, because it's a Polish dumpling, and I heard you when I was driving in describe it as a Polish dumpling, and I thought to myself, he can't say it either.
No, because the last thing I would want is to be saying something wrong for like 3 hours, and then you come in and say, look, you're a fool, it's really this. Or even worse, somebody ring up.
I'm sure somebody will. If we said it wrong, somebody will call in.
And being sort of half from that part of the world, I probably should have known, but I don't.
For you, it's a sin.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
I can be forgiven. I'm Irish.
Now, I did look through the ingredients list, so there's nothing there that is in the non-safe land.
No,
so that's good.
Yeah, and I did it not with you in mind, but completely with myself in mind.
Which means you watched a cooking show this week.
I did.
That looks pretty
you
good.
Set me up here. I watched the Hairy Bikers, Northern Exposure, and they did Poland, and they had pierogi in it, and I looked at it and went, I've never made a dough with sour cream.
Well, until now. Just as a quick side note here, you realise if they wanted to continue that show and one of them left, they could just bring you in.
I know. I've got the beard, ride a bike.
They just wouldn't miss a beat. You know?
No.
For the casual viewer, they wouldn't know the difference.
Now, if one of them dies, now it's going to be your fault. You know that.
Well, see, that'll get you. That'll get you out of the kitchen. You'll be just riding a bike around the world, criticising other people's food.
Oh, that's brilliant. I need an agent. What are you doing?
Let's see if we can work on that. Anyway, back to our pierogi.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more, and I'll just start eating.
So I watched them make it, and it only had half the amount of fat. And normally, when you make a dough, there's a certain amount of fat there is flour. Mm-hmm. So they'd halved the amount of fat and used sour cream as the other part of it. And I went, how does that work? So I had no choice but to make it. And I made
choice.
I made it, and it came out beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how good that is. And the stuffing, coming from Ireland, the stuffing's mashed potato and cheese. Like, what more do you want in life?
No, not much really.
And the sauce is very easy. It's just butter and shallots. And I threw some mozzarella on your one.
That's
because
fine.
I thought more cheese. So there's two different types of cheese.
It was a little cheesy, but in a good way. Is it good?
So it's really simple to make. It's really, really easy to make. It's a little bit tedious making all the little pastry shells. But other than that, and you could fill it with anything. As soon as I made it, I was like, oh, God, this would be great. Would say you'd leftover bolognese. You could make the dough the next day and fill it with bolognese.
You really could, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in there. And you can fry them, you can boil them. And the other great tip I'm going to give you is when you cut out the rings, keep all your offcuts. And the next time you make soup, just throw them in the soup and you'll get nice little soup dumplings. You having fun with that bit of cheese?
I am. Look, the only issue I'm having is because I'm still trying to talk to you and finish this.
Yeah.
The mozzarella got me on that last bit.
It did.
Hey, that's fine.
How do you think? You enjoying?
Well, it's 80% done. So, love shallots and love everything else in there too.
We made it at home and we sat down at 8:15.
See?
We just put them in a big bowl on the table, and they're just great, and they're so versatile. Like the idea of stuffing them with. As soon as I needed to get it down once. Mm-hmm. I don't mess with recipes until I can do them properly.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the sour cream in the dough, I was really, is this going to work? And it did. So I was, well happy.
You know, there is a zillions of recipes, different food you can have, and some of them are very creative with lots of different whiz-bang ingredients, but there is something to be said for something with very simple, everyday, quote-unquote boring ingredients swaying together in the right way that it's just like, wow, there's something in that simplicity that I love.
Peasant food. And I love peasant. I said that once in a newspaper article, wrote it all the wrong way, and I got myself in trouble with the restaurant. But peasant food, I love that old style of even that's simple, like potatoes, flour, fat. You know, it's so simple and it's so tasty. And you can understand why they'd eat it there, because it'd be freezing cold there. And imagine having a few of them in your soup.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Or you can like cook them off stuffed and then fry them, like, so they get sticky. And I'm converted.
But, I mean, if you look at all different cultures across the world, how many really great dishes have just come about by a case of here's just some bits and pieces of just effectively on their own nothing, whiz-bang together, and all of a sudden here's a meal.
Poor people's food is the best in the world, and that's where the best cooks come from, because they get the crappiest ingredients and they have to present something to their family.
You've got no choice.
And they become creative and they make stuff like this, and you just go, oh my God, that's brilliant. I love the stuff. Absolutely. I don't know, for some reason it's like stews and dumplings and Indonesian goreng and all that really cheap ingredients, and they make this brilliant food. I just love it.
Well, that's the most. I know Gav doesn't get excited about his meals, but there was an additional air of I don't know what that was, but he got pretty excited about it.
Well, it's new to me, so trying something new and getting it right, and just going, I can't believe this is so delicious.
This will be on a menu.
Very soon.
6 menus.
6 venues in the Hunter will have pierogi within a week.
Pierogi. At least we got the name of it right.
Yes.
That's the main thing.
Well, hopefully.
Gav, it's always a pleasure. I know, like you said, you're off to do the computers and all that sort of stuff. If you had to do a choice, if you could just do one or the other, right? On the pots and pans or never on the pots and pans, which half would you do?
I can't, because I need to be able to keep... I love what I do, but I also love being able to get in there in the middle of it and cook with the boys and girls and do that side of it. No, I can't pick.
And that is, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get a splinter on your backside from sitting on the fence. Gav, as always, a pleasure. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you very much.
There he is, our chef, Gavin Forman, with the Polish pierogi. I got that right, didn't I?
No, pierogi.
No, pierogi. Kiji. Got it. At 2NURFM 103.7.
A broadcast service of the University of Newcastle.